My fiancé said it's just a girl's trip, then flew to trip with a man and hid hotel charges. Then I canceled wedding and packed her stuff before she landed. Hey, buckle up. This is going to be a wild ride. I never thought I would be posting here, but life comes at you fast. I, a 31-year-old male, was with my fiancée, Lauren, a 30-year-old female, for 7 years, engaged for 2. We first met at a friend's house party 7 years ago. She was this confident girl with the loudest laugh in the room. She actually approached me first, came over while I was trying to figure out the snack situation and said, "You look like you know where they hide the good chips." I did not, but I helped her look anyway. We ended up spending the next hour sitting on the back porch talking while everyone else got wasted inside. We exchanged numbers that night, and things moved pretty quickly after that. Our first date was at this dive bar with terrible food but great drinks. Soon after 2 years of dating, we were inseparable. We simply worked. When my car broke down, she picked me up for 2 weeks straight without complaining once. When she got sick during finals week in her master's program, I organized all her notes and brought her soup between my shifts. I even learned how to make her grandma's chicken soup recipe, which, according to Lauren, I butchered beyond recognition, but she still ate it anyway. For her 25th birthday, I surprised her by fixing up this old bike she had always wanted to restore but never had time for. I spent 3 weekends in her dad's garage secretly working on it. After dating for 5 years, I proposed at this hiking spot we always went to. Nothing special, just us, a ring and a view. I'd been carrying that ring up mountains for 3 weekends straight, waiting for good weather. Laughing out loud, I nearly had a heart attack when she almost sat on my backpack where I had hidden the ring. The look on her face when I pulled it out, though, was worth all the stress. We were engaged for 2 years. Our relationship was not perfect, or anything. We had fights about stupid stuff, like who forgot to take out the trash, or why I could not seem to put my socks in the hamper instead of next to it. We argued about having kids right away or waiting a few years, whether buying a house was a good investment or a money pit. But we always worked it out, compromised, and met in the middle. That is what healthy relationships look like, right? I remember when we first moved in together, it was this tiny one-bedroom apartment. The couch was a hand-me-down from her cousin that smelled like cat pee, no matter how many times we cleaned it. But we were happy. We would cook dinner together while singing along to 90s one-hit wonders, binge-watch shows on my laptop because we could not afford cable. Eventually, my career took off. Lauren was working on her master's degree. We upgraded to a better apartment, got actual furniture that did not come from the curb. We were building this life together, brick by brick, making all these plans. The wedding was just the next logical step in our perfect little life plan. After 1 year of our engagement, though, there were suspicious things that started to show. It started slightly at first. Lauren got super protective of her phone about 8 months before the wedding, taking it to the bathroom, sleeping with it under her pillow, texting most of the time. I just thought, oh, she probably does not want me to see that she is looking at wedding stuff. Or maybe she is texting her friends about bachelorette party plans. Yeah, real genius detective work there. I remember one night waking up at like 3 a.m., and she was not in bed. I found her in the kitchen, scrolling on her phone with this weird smile on her face. When she saw me, she practically jumped and switched apps faster than a teenager caught watching porn. She said she could not sleep and was just checking Instagram at 3 a.m. with that dreamy look on her face. Sure. Then there were the girls' nights that started happening way more often. It used to be maybe once a month with some of her close friends, Megan, Sarah, and others. Then suddenly, it was every week, sometimes twice. I kept telling myself I was overthinking things, that she was just stressed about the wedding, that we had been together so long it was normal for the spark to dim a little. All the excuses you make when you do not want to face the truth. But these little things kept piling up. Around this time, she also started hanging out with this dude, Rowan, who she introduced as an old college friend who just moved to town. They supposedly had some philosophy class together years ago and even went together on a scholarship to Italy 7 years ago and reconnected on LinkedIn, or something. At first it seemed whatever, just coffee catch-ups and lunch. No big deal, right? I am not the jealous type, I have got female friends too. But I noticed things that bugged me. The way he would lean in when they laughed, how he would drop something off and somehow end up staying for dinner. Once, he brought over this bottle of wine that was from this small vineyard we visited during that semester in Italy. He was just a bit too comfortable around Lauren, and she never said anything about it. I brought it up once, super casual, like, "Hey, seems like you guys are pretty close," and she immediately went into this whole speech about trusting her and started reassuring me that he is just a friend. Nothing more, and I believed her. She also started getting ready differently, spending more time on makeup before meeting friends, wearing revealing outfits to grocery shop, then coming home with barely any food, taking forever to respond to my texts, but always glued to her phone when I walked in. She even got this new haircut that she made sure to mention was trending, but suspiciously looked exactly like the style she had in old college photos. Her friends started acting weird around me too, like they knew something I did not. At a party I saw Megan arguing with Lauren. They were trying to be quiet, but I caught a few words like Megan saying, "Reconsider, this is so messed up," before they noticed me and suddenly started talking about shoe sales. Real subtle, guys. Then there was this thing. One day I was casually scrolling Instagram. There were those friend suggestions. One account caught my eye. It was an account with a green eye as a profile picture. It looked just like Lauren's eye. The username was like a spell, only a few followers, and I noticed her friends following it, including Megan. The account was private though, so I could not see any posts. Even though it really set me off, I did not give it much importance. I figured maybe it is just a thing with girls, having spam accounts to add close friends only. But she never mentioned it to me. I did not want to be nosy, so I just let it slide. And just like that, everything kept piling up. I did not say anything. I just started paying more attention to all the little things that were not adding up. So we were 2 months from the wedding when Lauren dropped the "I am pregnant" bomb. I remember we were just sitting on the couch watching some reality show about people baking cakes that look like celebrities. A commercial break hit and she just goes, "By the way, I am pregnant," just like that between commercials, like she was telling me we needed more milk. But something inside told me that maybe life was speeding up our plans. Maybe all her weird acts were just because of her being hormonal. I tried to keep my thoughts positive because you know what, it felt good to know I was becoming a father, and I did not want to ruin it. But something felt off about how she told me, no excitement. And when I asked when she found out, she got weird about it. She said she had known for a couple of weeks but wanted to be sure before telling me. A couple of weeks? Most women I know pee on the stick and immediately call their partner, whether it is good news or bad. But Lauren had been sitting on this info for 2 weeks. When I asked why she waited so long, she just shrugged and said she did not want to disappoint me if it was a false positive, which I guess makes sense but still felt weird. I asked if we could tell our parents together and she said she had already told her mom, but go ahead and tell yours if you want. Already told her mom without me? That seemed strange for something that should have been our news to share together. When I mentioned that, she got all defensive and said she needed motherly advice about the pregnancy symptoms. Fair enough, I guess, but it still bugged me. The whole thing felt off, and combined with everything else, it just added to my unease. When I tried to touch her stomach, she would move away, saying it was too early to feel anything anyway. I let it slide because, hey, maybe pregnancy hormones were making her act weird. I actually Googled weird pregnancy behavior to convince myself everything was normal. Laughing my ass off, I found all these forums with dudes talking about how their partners got super moody or distant during pregnancy, so I figured that is all it was. Hormones are wild, right? We had a doctor's appointment scheduled, but Lauren rescheduled it twice, saying she had work conflicts. When I offered to reschedule my stuff instead so I could still come, she got irritated and said it was not necessary for me to be at every appointment. I started noticing she was not taking any prenatal vitamins either. When I bought some and left them on the counter, they stayed untouched for days until I mentioned it. After that, the pill count seemed to go down, but I never actually saw her take one. The weirdest part was when one night I found her looking at flight prices to Italy on her laptop. When I asked if she was planning a baby moon, yeah, I knew what that was. She quickly closed the browser and said she was just curious how much flights had gone up since the last time we traveled. I did not think much of it at the time, but I should have. Then, 2 weeks after the pregnancy news, Lauren hits me with, "Me and the girls are going to Italy for 10 days. She just drops it during dinner like she is telling me she is going to the grocery store. I nearly choked on my pasta. Seriously, with the wedding so close and you were pregnant, I asked, trying not to sound like a controlling jerk, but also like, what the actual fuck? She got all defensive. It is my last chance to travel before the baby and marriage tie me down forever. Then she gave me this speech about finding herself before fully committing to motherhood. Red flag city, right? Like, who talks about their upcoming marriage and baby as being tied down forever? People who are pumped about those things do not use prison terminology to describe them. I pointed out that we were still finalizing wedding details, had the caterer meeting coming up, and needed to do the final venue walkthrough, all that fun stuff. She waved it off, saying she had already rescheduled those for after her trip without telling me. Cool. When I asked which friends were going, she vaguely mentioned the close ones, you know. Oh, really? Well, interesting. She said they found cheap tickets and could not pass it up. I pressed for more details and she got irritated, saying just some girls from college. Funny. I brought up that traveling in the first trimester might not be a great idea. She pulled out her phone and showed me some article about how it was perfectly safe to fly during pregnancy, had it ready to go, almost like she anticipated that concern. Everything about it was just wrong. The timing was suspicious as hell. But you know what? I let her have it. I already suspected something was up, so I figured letting her go would either prove me wrong or confirm what I already suspected. So, I started playing along to see how far she would go. She started planning the trip immediately. Like, that same night she was booking flights and accommodations. The next few days she was weirdly secretive about planning, taking calls in another room, closing her laptop when I walked in, that sort of thing. She said she wanted the trip to be a surprise for the girls, so she was handling all the details herself. Seemed odd for a girls' trip that supposedly her friends were also excited about. The night before her flight, Lauren packed the smallest suitcase I had ever seen for a 10-day international trip. When I mentioned it, she said she wanted to travel light and do laundry there. Lauren, who usually packed 3 outfit options per day, suddenly a minimalist traveler? Sure. The morning of her flight, I drove her to the airport at 5 a.m. without complaining. I triple-checked she had everything she needed, asked if she was sure her friends were meeting her at the right terminal. She nodded, saying they had it all planned out. I walked her as far as security would allow, gave her a kiss goodbye, and told her to take lots of pictures. The first day Lauren was gone, she texted when she landed. Made it. About to meet up with the girls. Talk later. No details about the flight, no complaints about airplane food or the crying baby 3 rows back, the usual stuff Lauren would normally text about. Just the bare minimum to let me know she was alive. I tried calling that evening, but it went straight to voicemail. She texted back 1 hour later saying her phone was about to die and they were heading to dinner. The next couple of days followed the same pattern, brief, generic texts. Having a great time. Weather is amazing. Food is so good. She sent a few photos too. Her eating pasta at some nameless restaurant, her at the Coliseum with sunglasses on and a weird angle that showed almost nothing of the background. Her standing in front of a fountain but zoomed in so close you could not see anything else. Always solo shots. Then her texts went from generic to radio silence, complete ghost mode. No texts, no calls, no updates. The pattern continued for the rest of the week, brief, sporadic communication followed by long silence. When I asked if she was okay, she always had an excuse: dead battery, no Wi-Fi, time difference, too busy sightseeing. In all the pictures she sent, not a single one showed the girls. I checked their accounts on Instagram, not a single one of them posted anything about the trip. It was weird, regarding their Instagram obsession. I knew what all that meant, but I needed clear answers. I was done playing hide-and-seek bullshit. That night, I contacted Megan since she was her closest friend from college, so I figured I should check her out to know the truth behind all this girls' trip thing. So I texted her a casual, "How is Italy? Lauren's posts look amazing," just fishing to see what she would say. Her response came, "What? I am not in Italy. I am at my parents' this weekend." When she realized she had just exposed the whole bullshit, she tried to pull back fast. "Oh, the Italy trip? I could not go because of..." I cut her off. "We need to talk about Lauren for real this time." She got all nervous typing a message and deleting, but then agreed to meet at this coffee shop near my place the next day. Right after that, I checked our credit card statements. I found charges at a fancy restaurant in Florence that definitely cost more than Lauren would normally spend on a girl's lunch. Hotel charges? Beautiful. Then the next day, I met with Megan. When I walked in, she was already sitting nervously shredding a napkin, the universal look of someone carrying a secret that is eating them alive. "Look, I am guessing you found out," she said before I could even sit down. "Yes, but I want to hear everything. Speak." "Listen, it is not that I wanted to cover this up. I swear, I never, but Lauren, let me just show you." She took a deep breath, pulled out her phone. "Remember that private spam account of Lauren I once saw in my suggestions?" "Yes." It turned out it was not a friend's thing. It was Lauren living a double life. Megan showed me Lauren's Finsta posts. My stomach dropped seeing the pictures. Not because I was surprised, I had pretty much figured it out by then. But seeing it confirmed just hits different, you know. "Remember Rowan?" The posts were Lauren, him all over Italy, holding hands in Venice, kissing in front of the Trevi Fountain. The captions made me want to puke. "When you know, soulmates, not only lovers, beautiful day with my boy." There were tons of photos, them drinking wine at sunset, them on a gondola, them with their foreheads pressed together making those gross, lovey-dovey faces. The location tag showed they had been in the exact same spots where she sent me the girls' trip photos. She literally cropped this guy out of pictures she sent me. "They have been seeing each other for months," Megan said, looking genuinely uncomfortable. "They started hanging out more after he moved back to town, but it turned into something else pretty quickly." According to Megan, Lauren was confused about what she wanted. "Yeah, because being engaged for 2 years is not enough time to figure your shit out. She was planning to tell me after Italy, where she and Rowan were testing their relationship." Cool. "She made me promise not to tell you," Megan said, "but this has gone too far. The pregnancy, the lying, all of it. I know I should have told you sooner, but I chickened out, did not want to cause trouble while all the other girls in our group are hyping up and encouraging her affair with Rowan. Laughing out loud, she also showed me their group chat. Literally all of them were covering it up and applauding for Lauren. You and Rowan are soulmates. When will you leave your fiancé? He is so boring. Well, we will see about that. Megan also revealed that Lauren had been staying at Rowan's place at least twice a week for months. Those girls' nights were actually dates. The weekend work retreat was a getaway with him. All those times she was helping her mom, she was with him. The whole relationship had been one massive lie. When did it start? I asked, trying to piece together the timeline. January, I think, around when he moved back. They ran into each other at some alumni thing and started texting. It was just friendly at first, but then, January, 6 months of cheating while we were planning our wedding, while I was helping pick out napkin colors and writing my vows like an idiot. Megan shook her head. I am so sorry. You are a good guy. You do not deserve this. I am so sorry for not telling you sooner. I thanked her for being straight with me and left. The walk home was a blur. My brain kept replaying every suspicious moment, every lie, every time I ignored my gut feeling. 7 years together, and this is how it ends. I wasted all these years of my life with someone who could not stay loyal. The disrespect was unmatched. When I got home, I went straight to my laptop. I canceled the venue first, then the caterer. They were less understanding, apparently. Canceling 8 weeks out means you still pay 75%. Whatever, better to lose the deposit than spend the rest of your life with a cheater. Then the DJ, the photographer, the florist, the cake. One by one, I dismantled what was supposed to be the happiest day of our lives. Some vendors were cool about it, others were strict about their cancellation policies. I just paid what they asked and moved on. I called my parents. Wedding is off, Mom cried. Dad was so confused and asked if I was sure. I did not explain a lot. This was not a drink away your sorrows kind of situation. This was a methodically erased 7 years of your life situation. With the wedding officially nuked, I turned my attention to Lauren's stuff. I pulled out all the storage bins from the closet and started packing clothes, makeup, books, everything. I was surprisingly calm about it, like I had entered some zen state of breakup efficiency. I did not damage anything, did not throw anything away, just packed it all. Then I took her name off our lease, called the landlord, and explained the situation. He was surprisingly cool about it, even helped me find a locksmith who could come that same day. $200 later, I had new locks, and Lauren's key would not work anymore. A small price for peace of mind. I removed her from my phone plan, froze our joint account, which thankfully did not have much in it, and moved my money to a new account. I methodically cut every tie that bound us together. I even went to our Amazon account and deleted all the baby stuff from our registry. That one hurt, not going to lie. I still wanted to be a dad someday, just not like this. Not with someone who could lie to my face for months. I was not even sure if that was my baby anymore. The one thing I did not pack was her engagement ring. She had left it on the bathroom counter before her trip, claimed she was afraid of losing it while traveling. Now I knew the real reason. Hard to look like a single girl on vacation with your boyfriend when you were wearing another man's ring. I put the ring on the kitchen table with a note. Your stuff is boxed up and sent to your parents' house. Do not bother coming home. Then I arranged for a moving company to pick up her boxes and deliver them to her parents' house. The whole process took about 8 hours. By the time I was done, it was like Lauren had never lived there. 7 years reduced to some boxes and a returned ring. I took one last look around the apartment, now half empty and echoing. Furniture we had picked out together, art we had hung on lazy Sundays, the life we had planned that was now just gone. But I knew I did not lose anything real. I lost an illusion. The Lauren I loved did not exist anymore, if she ever did at all. It was his loss now, not mine. With that thought, I ordered takeout, watched 3 episodes of a show Lauren hated, and fell asleep on the couch. Day 1 of my new life complete. 1 week later, Lauren calls. I knew she was finally coming from her honeymoon with Rowan, so I picked up. What do you want? I asked, trying to sound bored rather than bitter. Hey baby, I am landing tonight. My flight gets in at 8 o'clock. Can you pick me up? The audacity of this woman is truly next level. No, I say. There's this long pause, like she cannot compute that answer. What do you mean, no? I play along. Sorry, I have to work late. I then hang up before she can respond. I let her experience the surprise I felt when I found out about her and Rowan. Throughout the day, my phone blows up. 27 missed calls, 43 text messages, voicemails getting increasingly desperate. That is when I knew she was home. Where is my stuff? What is going on? Answer your phone. Are you serious right now? I put my phone on silent and focus on work. Around 5:30, the office receptionist calls my desk. James, there is someone here for you. She seems upset. Before I can even say, I will be right there, I hear Lauren screaming in the background. Where is he? James, great. Just what I needed. A public spectacle at my workplace. I head to the lobby to find Lauren causing a full-on scene. My coworkers are staring. My boss walks by at that exact moment, because of course he does. The universe really making sure this is as uncomfortable as possible. Lauren's mascara is running down her face as she waves my note in the air like a lunatic. "What is this?" she screams, waving the paper. I grabbed her arm and tried to pull her outside. "Lauren, this is my workplace. Let us talk somewhere else." "No, you are avoiding me. You changed the locks. You packed up my stuff. You are trying to abandon your baby." There it is, the baby card played right in front of everyone at my job. Security starts walking over, and my boss gives me the "handle this or you are fired" look. I am beyond mortified. I finally manage to get her outside to the parking lot where she continues the meltdown. "What is wrong with you? How could you do this to me?" The irony of her asking me that question nearly makes me laugh. How could I do this to you? You had no right to go through my things, to pack up my stuff, to cancel our wedding without even talking to me. She is legitimately acting like I am the unreasonable one here. I had every right after finding out you have been cheating on me for months. Her face does this weird thing, cycling through different expressions: shock, anger, desperation, calculation, then fake remorse. It is like watching someone flip through a Rolodex of manipulation tactics. "James, please, it is not what you think. He is just a friend. Save it. I saw all the photos in that Finsta of you. I know everything." That stops her cold. "Wait, what? What exactly? How?" "Megan showed me everything, real subtle by the way. So yeah, I canceled everything and packed your stuff. What did you expect?" Lauren's face goes from fake apologetic to furious in 2 seconds flat. "That bitch. She promised she could not say anything. She swore to me." And there it is, no denial, no explanation, just anger at getting caught. If I needed final confirmation, that was it. But the thing is, I was not in the mood to hear this hormonal, pregnant lady. "The wedding is off. Your stuff is at your parents'. Return your ring to my mom or sell it. I do not care. We are done. Now get the hell out of here. There is nothing else to talk about." That is when she switched tactics again. She started sobbing. "But what about our baby? You are just going to abandon your child?" "Yeah, if he is even mine." Her hesitation tells me everything I need to know. That is what I thought. She immediately gets defensive. "Of course it is yours. I cannot believe you would even suggest." "Cut the crap, Lauren. I am not signing a birth certificate without a DNA test." She tries crying again, then begging, then gets nasty and says, "I never satisfied her anyway, and Rowan actually listens to her." Then back to crying. "We are done talking. We are done everything. Go back to Rowan. He's what you want anyway." It is not that simple. Actually, it is. You chose him. I am choosing me. End of story. Then I get in my car and drive off, leaving her standing in the parking lot. When I get home, I send a quick email to my boss, apologizing for the scene. I just had the most embarrassing workplace confrontation in human history. Then I text my buddy Chris, asking if I can crash at his place. He responds immediately, "Guest room is ready, come whenever." Good friends, that is what gets you through this kind of shit. So, after that showdown with Lauren, her family went nuclear. Her mom called me at 6 a.m. the next day, screaming so loud I had to hold the phone away from my ear. According to her, I was the worst human being on the planet for abandoning my pregnant fiancé and humiliating their daughter and destroying their family. She literally did not mention once that her precious daughter was cheating on me for half a year, but sure, I am the bad guy. Her dad called next. He had this whole "you made a commitment, son" speech ready to go. He called me a coward for not working through problems and said, "Real men step up when there is a baby involved." Again, zero acknowledgement of the cheating. "I guess fidelity is not a family value over there, Mr. Davis," I said, trying to sound respectful despite wanting to throw my phone out the window. "I think Lauren forgot to mention that she has been cheating with another man, and now she is pregnant, possibly with his child. So forgive me if I am not rushing to step up at the moment." Long silence on his end. Then he went on. "We have known Lauren her whole life," he said, like that was some kind of argument. "She would not do what you are claiming." Well, I have known her for 7 years, and I did not think she would either, yet here we are. The conversation went downhill from there. Lots of, "You are making a mistake, and you will regret this," and my personal favorite, "We always thought you were not good enough for her." Great parenting there, Mr. Davis. A+ stuff. After I hung up, I decided to end this once and for all. I took one of the Italy kissing photos Megan had sent me, the most obvious one where Lauren and Rowan were full-on making out in front of the Trevi fountain, and sent it to her family. More arguments followed, more guilt trips, more family pressure. But I stood firm on this, paternity test or nothing. Eventually they agreed, probably thinking it would prove them right and force me back into their daughter's life. The next week was hell. Lauren kept showing up at my apartment building trying to get in. Thankfully, I had already moved in with Chris temporarily, so she was just annoying my neighbors. She kept texting, first apologizing, "I made a mistake, please forgive me," then switching from threatening, "You will pay for this," to bizarre, "Rowan means nothing to me, but he says he will fight for me if you do not want me." No, but that one actually made me laugh. I did not bother replying. She also started telling people her version of events. According to mutual friends who reached out, I was a controlling, paranoid jerk who hacked her social media, stalked her in Italy, and abandoned her when she told me she was pregnant. Even some people who knew about Rowan somehow still thought I was the villain in this story. The mental gymnastics were truly impressive. Finally, the day arrived. The paternity test results came exactly 1 week later. The clinic called and asked us both to come in. "Mr. Thompson, according to our analysis, there is a 0% chance that you are the biological father of M. Davis's child. 0%. Not even a margin of error. Not my kid." Lauren burst into tears immediately, not sad tears, angry tears, like she was offended by biology itself for not cooperating with her plan. "That is impossible," she yelled. "The test is wrong. We need to do it again." The doctor, clearly wishing he had chosen a different career that day, calmly explained that the test was 99.9% accurate, and that contamination or errors were extremely unlikely. I felt nothing about it at this point. Thank God it was not my kid. Lauren tried a new angle. "It must have happened right before the trip," she said, turning to me with desperate eyes. "Rowan and I, it was just once right before Italy. I really thought it was yours, James. I really did." "Congratulations," I said, standing up. "Now go tell Rowan he is going to be a dad." I walked out of that clinic feeling like I dodged the world's biggest bullet. That night, I forwarded the results to her entire family with one line: "I wish you all the best. Please do not contact me again." So this is it, folks. Thanks for reading. At the end, I just want to say, always trust your gut. Those little feelings you try to ignore, they are usually trying to tell you everything. Oh, and do not forget to check the Finsta. Edit 1. Wow, I did not expect this to blow up. Thanks for all the comments and awards. Really appreciate it, guys. And for those saying Megan violated girl code by telling me the truth, are you serious? What about the do not cheat on your fiancé code? Because that seems slightly more important than protecting your friend's ability to cheat without consequences. Edit 2. New update coming soon. Redditors, stay tuned. Update. Hey Reddit. It has been a while, so a lot of you were asking me for an update. So, here I am. So, it has been 6 months since the paternity test results came back. I moved into my own place, eventually focused on work, got a promotion, started running again, something I'd given up during the wedding planning chaos. The funny thing is, it is not bad at all. The first month was rough, not going to lie. My buddy Chris had me over for dinners every Sunday. We are hanging out more now. My sister called more often. My dad, in his emotionally stunted but well-meaning way, sent me articles about moving on after breakups that were clearly written for teenage girls, but hey, it is the thought that counts. Lauren and Rowan were trying to make it work. According to mutual friends, they moved in together right before the baby was born, got engaged 1 month later, then unengaged 2 months after that. The whole timeline playing out on social media like a trashy reality show I am grateful to no longer be part of. From what I hear, parenthood is not exactly bringing out the best in either of them. Lauren posts these perfectly staged photos of baby Aiden, yes, she named her kid Aiden in 2025, poor guy, with captions about how blessed she is. But our mutual friend Jess ran into her at Target and said she looked like a zombie and spent 20 minutes complaining about how Rowan does not help at all, and her mom is too critical, and she never gets to do anything fun anymore. Meanwhile, Rowan is reportedly out with his friends 3 nights a week, and has already been caught texting his ex. Shocker. Well, karma is a bitch. But the funny part, Megan and I stayed in touch after everything went down. At first, it was just her checking if I was okay, a text here and there. Then we started grabbing coffee occasionally, just as friends catching up. Then coffee turned into lunches, dinners, movie nights. Then Megan and I started dating, and honestly, it is the healthiest relationship I have ever had. Megan is straightforward, does not play games, makes me laugh until my stomach hurts, and most importantly, I never have to wonder where I stand with her. No drama, just simple. When Lauren found out about us, she sent a paragraph-long rant about betrayal to Megan, but she blocked her, and we stopped hearing from her ever since. Edit. Lauren and Rowan broke up. Shocker. She is apparently telling everyone he cheated on her. The lack of self-awareness is truly impressive. Laughing out loud. Megan and I are still together and doing great. Thanks for all the support, Reddit. Peace out.